So if you look at the openings that are presently there, and there might be some other ones when the season's over, how would you rate them? Like which is the elite, the strong one, the rebuild, or a buyer beware situation in all of these big ones?
4 years ago, Trey, we all would have said LSU, and it would have been a no-brainer because LSU is so unique because there's no other school to compete with. The talent within the state is unbelievable. They have won at LSU despite their coaches. Yeah. Like Ed O won a national championship. Les Miles won a national championship. They literally can win despite because of the talent. Now listen, the world has changed. College football is not the same. So you're not building fences around your state to recruit. Like people are coming in with bags of cash. Lots of cash, and they're going to change that. That algorithm has been changed, and that's not going back anytime soon. So I still think LSU with the Natties, with the wide receivers that they've had come through there, I think they're in a great spot. I think they have the best job because of what I said. They've won national championships in a big way. They've won because of who they are, because of their brand. Their brand is still big. Florida's not as big as it used to be. Now, if you go back 20 years, you could say, those last 5 years of that 15 to 20 range, like they were really good. Urban Meyer was cooking. Like, they were a squad that had everything that they needed to be successful. Now you've churned out a bunch of coaches. You've had a bunch of losing. You got people that are in high school. Like my son's a high schooler. He's like, Florida was good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. They were really good at one time. Like they used to own us at Georgia.
Go watch the Netflix documentary, right?
Yeah.
Although that wasn't really a documentary because they paved over a lot of stuff, but it was an indication of just how good and dominant Florida was for them.
No, they would never pave over stuff.
No.
What are you talking about? No, I think so. So LSU and Florida probably the premier jobs. Now listen, Auburn to me, like how do you not put Auburn in this conversation? Because if you go back the last 15 years, there's only a handful of teams. It's actually 6 or 7 teams. You got Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, and Auburn, who have played for national championships twice. That's the list in the last 15 years. So Auburn's on that freaking list. And if you look at their roster, dude, you're like, man. I mean, you got 2 first-round receivers probably on that roster. You got guys all over the field that are really, really good. You need to find some offense. You need to find your quarterback probably. He's probably not on that roster. But those 3 jobs are huge jobs that are going to be good. Penn State's a good job, man. Like, whoever gets that job. Like, James Franklin's probably going to go to Virginia Tech. I see how that makes a lot of sense. And he gets to restart his clock and see what he does at a different school. He's won at Vanderbilt. He can win at Virginia Tech. Like he's done a good job with that. But
my question there is like what? And again, I want to be clear. I'm not denigrating Virginia Tech because I remember Frank Beamer's time there and the program he built there. But James was a pretty high profile guy at a pretty high profile school. I'm not sure he's an LSU fit in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But I want to be really clear. Is Virginia Tech the best that James Franklin can hope for?
I think that's the best he'll get.
Why is that?
Well, I think that region makes sense for him. I think this was his best opportunity this year. And so if you're LSU and you're Florida and you're Auburn and you're firing coaches because you're not because you're not good, because you want to win a natty, James has never done it. James has been really bad against top 5 opponents. Now, listen, I would argue he hasn't had the talent of Michigan and the talent of Ohio State.
Correct.
But you got to find a way to win a couple, right? Like sneak in there a little bit. It ain't like you've had bums. And so I think James was at a school that supported him. They had a bunch of great players. They have great assistant coaches. And to fall this year, what they did, I think, and here's the thing about James Franklin. He won at Maryland, did a really good job. He's got Maryland connections, Maryland ties. He was there when they were really good. And he recruits Virginia exceptionally well. So you can start that pipeline. That's something that he's been good at. But I think Virginia Tech's a good fit because expectations aren't as crazy. And I think James has proven he can win. Now, I'm not saying he can win the whole thing, but Virginia Tech fans don't expect to win the whole thing anyways.
Yeah. Well, what you just said, I think, is really interesting about fit, right? Because I think something that's been a problem for LSU. Like, I mean, when Brian Kelly went down there and tried to talk in a Southern drawl for the first time, I was like, what are we doing, How does – because for as wacky as Ed was, like he was a perfect fit at LSU. And then, he couldn't do what Nick Saban did at Alabama. He got everybody for that one great run and then couldn't duplicate it. I mean, that was Nick's secret sauce. He did it over and over and over again. So what is the best fit? Because like you said, their brand is still super strong. How important is finding the right fit for that job?
I think now more than ever, because with the NIL era, I think you're less inclined. I would be. Just if I'm running a business, Trey, I'm less inclined to now hire assistants who have never done it. And I say never done it. They haven't been around. The game of football has continued to change the last couple of years so much. So if you're an assistant, you haven't had to deal with all of these structural changes and had to make decisions on the fly. So if I'm going to take a guy that's not as well known like John Summerall down the road at Tulane, he's done it, man. He's navigated the transfer portal very successfully. He knows how to he knows how to recruit. He knows how to build culture. Now, he's a really good defensive coach and a culture coach. Now, the offense, LSU fans want to have that offense all the time, but he hasn't had a great offense. But I think if you're going to do it, man, and you're going to find somebody, you probably want to find a guy that's done it because the college football landscape has changed. And I just don't think the value of being an assistant, you haven't had that window of 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 years to build, to grow in this system and to learn it. You kind of been drinking through a fire hose.
Yeah. So is there one job that you think will start the process and then the dominoes will fall after that?
Well, I think there's one guy. I think it's Lane Kiffin.
Right.
I think Lane Kiffin's the ultimate domino. Lane's the one that everybody wants because of his offensive prowess. His interviews are fantastic. His swag is fantastic.
He's hilarious.
And I think he's awesome for us, right? You love guys like that. But I think Lane has benefited the most from the transfer portal than all of these coaches. Why? Because Lane hates recruiting.
Yeah.
Lane doesn't like recruiting. Lane's not sleeping on couches like Jim Harbaugh was. Right. Kirby's going to be maniacal and psychotic and continue to work the phones. Lane's like, hey, you want to play pickleball, bro? Lane is more about developing his culture on his team. It's why his guys don't leave very often. His guys stay at a high clip. He's got a general manager in Billy that is an absolute stud, star. He has this system figured out, and Billy will go with him wherever he goes. But I think Lane's that ultimate domino. And I think the thing about Lane is timing in life, right? His son's in high school where he's at. His family's so happy finally. He is, you can tell, grown into who he is. And I'm so proud of him because of the man he's starting to become. Quitting the drinking and just learning who he is and what he is and how to make an impact on people. So I think it's going to take a lot to make him move. But I think he's the first domino that sets this whole trend about who hires who.
Last thing about Penn State, and we'll move on to something else here. Did they mess themselves a little bit with how they handled James? Because I get it. His record against top 5 wasn't great. He was a game away from playing for the national championship a year ago. And I think what Nick Saban said was I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people that Penn State would like to hire. It's well, wait a minute. This guy won 10, 12, 13 games 3 years in a row. And I get it. They had a bad year this year. But he had you right there. And then a 3-game losing streak, and that was enough to get him gone? I mean, how much do you think the way Penn State handled that is going to affect the guys that they want to take that job?
I think it's just like LSU, the way LSU butchered theirs with the governor and the AD, and you're just what the flip is going on? Why would I go there when I don't even know who's running this thing? Because if a governor's running this thing, pound sand, kick rocks, I'm not taking that job. So trying to figure that out, I guess it's going to be part of it. Penn State did not want James Franklin to go on a run and them change their minds. They think they're elite. They think they should be in that conversation. Good for them. They fired James Franklin because they didn't want to go on the run and because they wanted to be first in line.
Yeah.
They wanted to be first in line to go shopping. And then all heads started rolling all over the place. And now they're way down the pecking order of where they wanted to be. So it doesn't matter. Kirk Cignetti wasn't everybody's first person they wanted to hire. Correct. Go get somebody with some experience. Go get somebody who can bring in guys too. Because whoever gets hired, say it's Lane, say it's Eli Drinkowitz, who's going to get a job. Eli Drinkowitz is going to get a job soon. They get to bring in their horses with them. They get that's why Cignetti's been successful. Cignetti would not have been near as successful if he couldn't have brought his whole squad with him that had experience in his system and knew exactly what to expect. Now you supplement, right? And you go get Mendoza from Cal, and you spend some money at some smart spots to bring guys in. But I think that Penn State thought they were going to be on the short list of the best coaching opportunities available, and then see what happened was, Trey, it all went south quickly.
Yeah.